What's going on, everybody? This is MDENT313, and I'm back at you guys with another one. Listen, me and my son, we just came back from seeing the Final Destination Bloodlines movie, and let me tell you, as a horror movie fanatic, I got everything I was looking for. If I gotta rate the cast, I'm gonna start off with ranking the cast, right? As you know, I think the original Final Destination had the best cast, followed by the second Final Destination, followed by Part 5, which was a prequel to the first one. I didn't really care much for 3 or 4, but then I'll go, after Part 5, I'll go with this new Bloodline cast, and then I'll go 3 and 4. 4 was my absolute least favorite, but cast members, I'm gonna get as my number 4 favorite cast members, right, as a collective group. Now there was a certain cast member that I thought was awesome, and his name was Eric, the guy that you see with all the piercings. Man, that dude was absolutely hilarious in the movie. He did a phenomenal job. Now when it comes to the lead character, which is Stephanie, I thought she did okay. She was my 4th favorite lead character. You know, I liked Alex the most, followed by Kimberly. I forgot the guy's name in Part 5, but I thought Stephanie did a solid job. She just wasn't, interesting. She was kind of boring, mild, but decent, right? Decent. I liked her more than the people from Part 3 and 4, nevertheless. But the kills, I want to start next with the kills, right? The kills, when it comes to strictly the kills, these are the best kills since Final Destination 2. And I'll go out on a limb and say this particular Final Destination has by far the most creative, exciting, gruesome kills. I was in the theater cringing like, damn, did they really just do that? That was nuts. Phenomenal. I gotta tip my hat off to whoever whoever thought of these kills was absolutely brilliant. I gotta tip my hat off to you. As far as the opening scene kill, now when it comes to the opening scene premonition kill, I always had to go with the second one because that car scene was legendary, right? But this one takes the cake. Being on that super high sky restaurant, whatever that was, 450 feet in the air, man, was absolutely insane, man. I got to tip my hat off. That was extremely creative, devastating. I like the young lady. She wasn't the main character, unfortunately, by the time because the movie started off in the 60s. So it started off, back there, but after about 5 to 10 minutes, speed up time. So we only get her for a short time. I would have loved for her to be the main character. That young lady was awesome. We got some more lore involving, rest in peace to Tony Todd's character, Bloodworth. Unfortunately, Tony Todd has transitioned. He had cancer. But his lines in this movie was very awesome. It almost kind of, especially with him transitioning in real life, his lines in here kind of, almost made you tear up, thinking about all the great work that he put in, and, what he said in here meant a lot, I don't want to spoil it, because I know it's still some people that didn't see the movie, but moving right along, right? It was pretty much a family movie, right? They was trying to trace their bloodlines because the young lady Iris from the very beginning of the movie, now she's an older lady and she's become distant with her family because she's trying to protect her family from meeting their ultimate fate with death, right? In the premonition, they always see everybody dying and then they save a bunch of people. So what she was alluding to was the fact that everybody was supposed to die that night, and she saved so many people, which ultimately resulted in people being born that wasn't even supposed to be here. So I think that expanded on the lore of Final Destination. I thought that was awesome. So we got, we able to see a Part 7 and a Part 8 in the future. And man, I want to tell you this one part regarding Bloodworth that it's gonna catch you by surprise. But this is a spoiler-free review. I don't want to ruin too much because man, this movie was awesome. I really got what I was looking for. Moving on, right? The relationships, you know, what particular the lead character and her mother, you know, wasn't good, and then the mother and the grandmother ultimately wasn't good. But I like the small scene that the lead character Stephanie had with her grandmother, the younger lady. That's who she ended up getting a book from, about, you know, how you can see death coming, and you know how you could potentially beat death. And it pretty much traced back to everybody that ended up dying one by one, you know, who was on that skyrise that night, and you know, family members that was tied to them. Man, very awesome movie, man. They did a good job of, you know, bringing a little new flavor. I thought the characters was solid. Man, it was just good, man. It was, how can I put it? The only thing that it was lacking, and this is the reason why the first Final Destination is always at the top. The first Final Destination, it was creepy, it was ominous, it was eerie, it was weird feeling, like you felt like it was a horror movie. Whereas from part 2 on, you know, it just pretty much, it kind of felt like, it don't feel creepy and ominous. It's weird because you know that death is coming, and you know these characters gonna die in a gruesome way. But the way the movies are written after part 1, it don't feel creepy and ominous. It just feel like, you know, just watching regular characters just going about their regular day, getting ready to meet their fate. Whereas part 1, the tension was built up extremely well. But that was the only thing that this was missing. It was missing that tension, that eeriness, that man, is something crazy is about to happen, and man, you better look out for this and you better look out for that. But it could be the fact that maybe because we're used to it by now, you know, maybe it just don't feel that way. But listen, I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, man. This movie was pretty good. Man, I want to tell y'all so much. I suggest you guys go check it out, man. Phenomenal movie. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section when you go check it out. Come back to the comment section and let me know what you think. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Peace.